Hello, gorgeous, beautiful, divine intuitives. I've got the amazing Art Geyser here today, all the way from California. It must be 808 state over there, is it,
It is,
Art?
yes.
Fantastic. I've known Art for, I've known you longer than you know that I've known you for. I've
Oh,
known
really?
of you, yeah, yeah. I've known of Art. I've known of you since 2011, I think. But I don't think we met until maybe 2013. So it was about two
Hmm.
years previous when you were working for solar events and you were flying over and packing out London rooms. And I was doing a little bit of promotion for you from uh, behind solar events. That's how I knew about you then. And it's amazing that, we're connecting stronger again. I love
Yeah.
how that is happening. So, Art is one of the intuitive experts who is speaking for raising awareness of International Intuitives Day, which is 11/11, Armistice Day in the USA, but I do believe there is a link with that. We won't go into that because this is time for me to zip it and for Art to speak, but I am really honored that Art has given his time to be here with us today because he leaves a legacy. He is a legacy, and I can't wait to hear what he's got in store for us today because it's always bang on point. And Art, today you're going to be talking to us about when you're an empath and feeling like you're surviving but want to be thriving through play. Yeah, okay. Well, I'll hand over to you if you want to just say a little bit about who you are and I guess open up for questions and say a little bit about what we're doing. There's Colette Kavanagh here, and she says it's so lovely to make this live. It's so lovely to see you live here too, Colette. So, Art, over to you, my lovely.
Well, thank you. And uh, I'm honored to be on your show. And as Tiffany said, we've known each other for many years. And right when I first met her, I was just so impressed with her abilities and her approach to tarot and so much more than that. That just your whole approach to spirituality and helping people is something that I'm really, really impressed with. And for those of you that don't know me, I don't say that easily. and um,
Ah,
there's a lot of wonderful people out in the world doing work that's it's okay, and Tiffany's doing extraordinary work. So it makes it a real pleasure to be working with her. And yeah, and the topic today is about empaths, highly sensitive people, or just sensitive people in general. And it's really interesting to me now that I see a lot online about people talking about empaths, where even a few years ago you didn't see much of that. And that's that awareness that we are constantly being exposed to other energies from other people. And I don't like to think of them as positive or negative because I think that's not necessarily true and it's kind of a trap and it gets you into judgment and resistance in energetic NLP, and I'll explain more about that in a little bit. But energetic NLP, we go, it's either your energy or it's not, and it's helpful or it's not. And that's all you have to figure out. And in fact, you don't even have to figure it out. You can let your spirit figure it out. You can let your inner wisdom figure out. So it's either your energy or it's not. It's helpful or it's not. And get out of the whole trap of somebody has positive energy, somebody has negative energy. I mean, somebody can be angry and upset. That doesn't mean it's negative energy. Some of the most wonderful revolutionary changes in the world happen because somebody was upset or angry. The whole civil rights movement in the United States helped get sparked by a woman named Rosa Parks, who at the time where she lived, black people were supposed to literally sit in the back of the bus. I mean, it sounds like unbelievable now, and it was certainly my lifetime. And she just said, "No, I'm not going back there." And and that that anger or whatever it was for her, caused a whole movement or catalyzed a whole movement. So again, it's either your energy or it's not, it's other people's or it's not. And then even the people that are aware of this, the emphasis tends to be on protection, and walling yourself off. And sometimes that's the right thing to do. And most of the time, what it does is it cuts you off from other people. And that has all kinds of consequences, including on the inner level, they may feel cut off. So they may actually send you more energy because they realize they're not getting through. And there's just better approaches than that we'll talk about in a few minutes. So that's my
Yeah.
introduction to the subject.
And I totally love what you're saying. I completely resonate with it. Absolutely. The whole thing about getting out of the judgment and it's either helpful or it's not, or the awareness that it's not our energy in the first place, I think is so important as an empath or intuitive or highly sensitive person. And I always love listening to you, so I'm going to be quiet. But I just wanted to
Okay.
say I agree 110% also with the protection being a separation and there being better ways completely. Mm.
Oh, that's great. That's great. That makes me feel good. And the thing is, well, it does. Because again, I really admire your work and what how you approach the world. And what Tiffany was just talking about, that when you start realizing all your thought, and this scares some people at first because it sounds a little creepy, but the thing is, it's not as bad as it sounds on one level, and it's kind of worse on another. But the fact that it kind of bothers people doesn't change the fact that it's important to know it. All of your thoughts are not your thoughts. All of your feelings are not your feelings. A lot of well-meaning people go, well, I was listening to somebody recently, and well, it's your intuition, you know, because you feel it. And I'm thinking, well, you can feel other people's intuitions too. I mean, the good
Yeah,
news is
absolutely.
your own will have a different set of characteristics. And so you can learn to tell the difference. But until you accept the possibility, you don't have to believe it's true, but the possibility that it's true. And I always laugh that uh, a lot of people who think all this energy stuff is just woo woo and silly. Um, and then I'll listen to it might be a big football match in the UK or the US or anywhere else in the world, whatever kind of football we're talking about. And these broadcasters who don't believe in energy are going, the energy of the crowd is amazing. you know, and it's like, I mean, people talk about the energy, and I love, like, as Tiffany said, I used to come to the UK a lot to teach, and I hope I will do it again once this little thing is over that's going on, or that everybody's vaccinated or whatever. Um, but you know, there's people at home who have these huge TVs, and I walk by a pub, and it would be mobbed with people watching a football match, and the TV wouldn't be any bigger than the one they have at home. But being in the crowd, the energy of the crowd, we like it. So at times, it's great to mingle energy. The problem with those of us who uh, can connect to the term being sensitive or empaths is we don't clear the energy back out. And I know for me, when I was first learning energy work, I wasn't taught how to handle it. And so I was in my early 30s. I was through sports when I was younger and just genetics. I was very, very fit. I mean, I was the kind of person people would come up to me at the gym all the time and go, gee, what should I do for my arms or shoulders or chest and stuff? And I'd have to go, like, I don't even come to the gym that much. I mean, I was really, unfortunately, I'm a lot old now and things have changed. But back then, I was just naturally, I looked like I worked out 5 times a week. And but I was learning to do healing and energy work, and I didn't realize that I was absorbing even more energy from other people. So my sinuses were constantly active. I
Mm.
felt tired. My stomach hurt. And I'd go to the doctor, and why that other information is relevant. And they'd look at me, and I looked like this picture of health. And I'd tell them my symptoms. And the doctors were nice enough to never call me a hypochondriac. That's a funny mistake, hypochondriac. And but they just look at me and they do the test and they go, well, there's nothing wrong with you. And I go, well, that's great, but why am I feeling this way? Why am I having emotions that aren't mine? I mean, I've recognized sometimes it's not normal. These are like, I'm feeling like my clients feel. So I was absorbing all this energy, but I knew I was absorbing it, but it felt good. It felt like being by a fire when it was happening. I'd feel these waves of energy, and I didn't know I needed to clear them back out. So when I teach people now, it's not that hard to open people up psychically, open up their psychic abilities, their healing abilities, because everybody has the abilities. It's actually pretty easy. But to me, what's important is that I set people up that they know how to do it in a way that's safe for them, that they can be playful with, so that they go from being an empath that's just surviving to one that's thriving, and then being playful with it. Because it's, as you know, Tiffany, it's so much fun when you know how to do it safely. I mean, it's enormously fun.
Yes, I would say both ways, but the other way is a bit chaotic and messes with your life a bit too much.
A
So we want
lot.
to do it the good way. And Colette says it's very interesting art, and she would love to know more about clearing the energy. Is there any like short little tip or something you could give her?
I will give a short tip for sure in a minute. And
Mm-hmm.
I just want people to know and this is completely free. Next week, starting, I think it's August 30th, I'm doing, challenges are popular now, but I'm calling it a master class. So it's an hour a day for 5 days. And it's called Empaths, going from surviving to thriving to being a playful empath. And
Amazing.
I will be teaching people how to uh, how to be an empath in a way that can be playful. And I did this about a month ago, and I've never gotten so many emails from people about it's changing their lives, and the response has been
Wow.
incredible. So
And for you to say that, that must be have been a heck of a lot. So I
yeah.
can only imagine. Jeez. Right. Yeah.
And I'll just
Okay.
mention, so if anybody's interested, if you go to www.playfulempath.com,
I
so
love the
playful,
title.
thank you, EMPATH.com, you can sign up. And again, it's completely free. And yes, you'll be on my mailing list, but you can unsubscribe at any time. And, and we'll go through it. And they will be recorded. And the recordings will only be available for about 72 hours. And the reason for that is people are always coming up to me and going, I've had this recording of yours for 5 years, and I finally listened to it, and it really helped me. you know, and and everybody has all the, and I do the same thing. I have tons of other people's
Yeah.
recordings. I don't know when I'm
Yeah.
ever going to listen to them, so they disappear. So it's like either do it or don't. It,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
it's being a little tough love, if you will, to encourage people to do it. So, but one really easy thing to do, uh, and let me just say, you don't want to resist energies. And in this technique that I'm going to tell people, any energies that come off easily, let them come off. If there's any kind of a tug of war going on, then leave them alone for now. And in the challenge, I'll explain what to do, because it's not hard, but it's just some more steps. Um, but you don't want to fight the energies. And in energetic NLP, which I guess I haven't even said yet, so the field I've created is energetic NLP, which brings together NLP, or neuro linguistic programming. If people haven't heard of it, they've heard of Tony Robbins, the most famous person in our field. And he has his own way of doing things and his own philosophy. But the core of his ability to transform people's lives comes from his study of NLP. And I think he started about a year before I did. He's he's done a little better with the marketing, I think, just a little bit. And he's helped thousands and thousands and thousands of people. Um, uh, and I combine it though with spiritual principles, healing and transformative energy work, psychic development, and more. And energetic NLP is its own unique thing, but those are the parents of it. Um, and we use symbols a lot. And one of the key things in energetic NLP, you always set your intention, you give permission because they don't automatically go together.
Mm.
You put your spirit in charge and your inner wisdom in charge. And then the fourth thing is the thing that's hard for a lot of us, is you just use your imagination. You just pretend it's working. Now, people don't need to believe it's working. They just need to pretend it's working. Like when we were children, we would pretend to be, presidents or superheroes or vampires or werewolves nowadays or whatever athletes, whatever. And you knew you weren't that person. You were just pretending and you really got into it. So, and what I discovered by accident years ago is when I got the people in my workshops to stop trying to do it right and stop trying to figure out if it's working and just to go, well, I'm pretending I'm doing it right. I'm pretending it's working. And then later, So I encourage people to go through this process with us right now. If you're driving, don't do it. And in fact, if you're driving, turn off the sound because both Tiffany and I generate a lot of energy, and it's not the kind of energy you want when you're driving. It's energy that gets you to go inward and make incredible changes. When you're driving, you want to be outward. So even on a recording, just don't listen to this while you're driving. And one of the things that we use a lot in energetic NLP are symbols. And there's no right symbol. A symbol can be anything you want. I mean, you could make a cabbage a symbol for love if you wanted to, as much as a rose. I mean, it's just anything you want. I just always see little balls of energy, a ball of energy for love, a ball of energy for anger, a ball of energy for determination, a ball of energy for hopelessness. They're all just, that's what I do. But people use flowers or trees or, you can use any symbol you want. And the thing is, when you use symbols, your unconscious mind knows what symbols are and it goes, oh, you want me to do such and such. So it opens up for your spirit and your unconscious mind all kinds of abilities that you don't need to consciously know how they work. So one of the symbols I like is a symbol of a magnet, because almost everybody played with a magnet when you were young. So your unconscious mind knows a magnet is a thing that has energy and it can pull things to it. So you held up a magnet, you held up a pin, and all you have to do is let go of the pin, and the magnet does the work. You just have to let go. So for everybody, imagine out in front of you, there's this giant magnet. And just imagine it has the ability to pull energies out of your energy field. Then ask your spirit and your inner wisdom to identify any energies from the middle of your body going out through your aura all the way to the magnet. Ask your spirit and your inner wisdom to identify any energies that aren't yours and aren't helpful that it wants you to let go of right now. We're not trying to get all of them. The ones that aren't yours, aren't helpful, and your spirit and wisdom want you to let go of them. And then give permission for them to go to the magnet now and let the magnet do all the work. And then just pretend it's happening. I like to amuse myself. I see little squiggles and lines and swirls and clouds go off, but that's just me. And I never try to figure out what's going off. That gets in the way. Just if your spirit and wisdom want to release it, that's good enough. You drop the magnet into the earth and you ask the earth to recycle the energy. You put a second magnet high above your head. And most people don't know that their energy field goes above their head and there's chakras in your energy field above your head, not just the crown on top of your head. There's several more, and they're really, really important. And your spirit and your inner wisdom know everything about them. So imagine from your shoulders up through your head, around your head, and going up at least 3 meters, 9 feet. Have your inner wisdom and spirit identify energies that aren't yours and aren't helpful, and just give the magnet permission now to pull them out of your space. And that's all around you. It's in your forehead, the center of your head, the whole inside of your head, the back of your head, your scalp and your crown on top of your head, and all the chakras above your crown that's in your aura, your energy field. You drop that magnet into the earth and let the earth recycle the energy. So we're going to do 4 magnets in all. That was 2 of them. My favorite is put a magnet way behind you. because energies literally hide behind your back. And let it clear from the center of your body, behind your body, your entire body. Let your inner wisdom and spirit identify the energies it wants to go to the magnet and give permission for them to go now. Drop that into the center of the earth. And then the fourth and last magnet is in the earth, and it clears from the base of your spine, all around you on the lower part of your body, through your energy channels and chakras in your legs and ankles and feet, soles of your feet. And there are chakras below your feet, going down at least 1 meter, 3 feet. So let that whole part of your aura and energy field release now into that magnet in the earth. So there's going to be a quick second part to this, and I'll review it in a minute, but you just do 4 magnets, one in front, above, behind, below. And then, as Aristotle said, I love that I know 2 quotes from Aristotle. One is, nature abhors a vacuum. Nature abhors a vacuum. And what it means is if you leave space, something will fill it. We don't want something to fill it. We want to decide what fills it, or let your spirit and wisdom decide. So imagine a gold ball of energy above your head and give it permission to retrieve your energy from other people. So you scattered your energy in the past, the present, the future. You've left it in other people, either trying to help them or because you were irritated at them. And let your inner wisdom and spirit pull your energy back from other people. Now, if you have very young children, it's appropriate to have a lot of energy in your space, but your spirit and your wisdom can figure that out. And if your energy was helping somebody else, imagine as your energy leaves, earth and universal energies come in that will help them even more than your energy did. So your energy goes into that gold ball. It gets cleaned up and gets made all sparkly, and it gets analyzed. And if any of it came out of your energy field, but it isn't truly yours, it goes into the earth to be recycled. The energy that is your authentic energy is sent down into your body and energy field, filling it up. And give your spirit and wisdom to also bring in earth and universal energies that support you now and in your next steps in life. And then that's it. And it's good if you stomp your feet, pat your body. So again, there's just 4 magnets in front, above, behind, below. You can do the sides too if you want, but 4 covers it. You put your spirit and inner wisdom in charge. Any energies your spirit and wisdom want released, the magnet pulls them out, goes in the earth and be recycled. So you just do that in front, above, behind, and below. Then you want to retrieve your own energy and fill back up. So gold ball above your head. Let your spirit retrieve your energy from wherever you scattered it. And again, if it's somebody else, if it's in somebody's energy field trying to help them, your spirit replaces it with earth and universal energies that are even better for them. Your energy comes from the gold ball, gets cleaned up, and then sent back down into you, along with earth and universal energies that support you now and in your next steps. And of course, this is recorded, so you can listen to this again, or even better yet, also do that and sign up for the Playful Empath program.
Tell us the link for that again. I was so gone. I've forgotten the time, and I needed to be on another call 2 minutes ago.
Oops.
But
Uh-oh.
yes, but I'm trusting. I'm trusting because I've also got something quite important to tell you from what you said about the helping part that I just really want to go through quickly as well. But
Oh,
can you
please.
say the link
Yeah.
about the playful empath
So
again
it's
for people?
www.playfulempath.com. And
And you've
empath
got a
is
challenge.
EMPATH. Yeah, and it's a 5-day, an hour a day, and it's recorded challenge masterclass. And again, the people who did it last month raved about it. He says modestly. I like being American because we can be a little rude and crude. We don't have to be sophisticated like the English. Um,
You know, yeah, art art's ability to pack out a room, I think is amazing, in terms of you flew all the way over from America. So, that big energy does follow you for a reason. And my husband was talking about the time he came to see you in London the other day.
oh,
And he was saying about the story that he just remembers this story, which was about. So, he's obviously not going to retell it as well as you, and we haven't
mm,
got a lot of time. But he said you saw someone and you thought, I can help them. I think it might have been a homeless person on the
yes.
street. Do you want to say it? You sound like you're sure that you know it. So do you want to
Oh, yeah.
say it?
So I was here in San Francisco, and I see this. Sometimes I see this homeless person who mentally and physically was in terrible shape, and my heart would always go out to him. So when I see homeless people, sometimes in my mind I ask them, "Would you like a healing?" And when I did that, all of a sudden I saw this energy behind him that I realized was the real him, his spirit, and it didn't have a face, but I felt like it was smiling at me, and I heard the words, and it was this big, fantastic energy, and it goes, um, "Do I look like I need your help?" And I went, "Okay, it's not me to judge somebody's life path. It's like
That's
blessing
it.
and
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, that's exactly it. And I think, that's the energy also of ENLP. It's like an easeful, graceful, playful,
right,
don't push anything. You just relax, and into it and let it flow and be. And
exactly.
uh, I'm so honored to have you as one of the speakers as well for 11:11.
Yes,
And Juliet is saying she caught the end of that and it felt great. Thank you, Art. Art will also be on Clubhouse with me. September the 9th, I think our next
ninth,
date
yeah.
is. Great. And if you want to sign up for the early bird here, this is the link here. That means that if you go there, you put your name on, a bit like arts. If you go to the Playful Empath, you'll put your name on, but you'll get something a lot quicker. 30th of August, you can start that and get that challenge rolling with art. If you put your name on this link, what happens is you just go onto a list at the moment, and then when we do open up for tickets to the International Intuitives Day, which is online and offline. So it doesn't matter where you are, there's different packages and things along those lines. Amazing speakers. Art is one of them. And Art will be speaking about why intention is not enough, I believe. And so if you want to hear more, and I know that you do, because he is just amazing, as you can tell from this, like, I wish I could stay here with you. I love going on calls as well, but this
Can
was
I
too
just say,
short.
Tiffany, to the people that are watching this because they know me and don't know Tiffany yet, definitely get on her mailing list. Tiffany does wonderful work, and definitely join us for the International Intuitives Day.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Art. And the reason that I've done the International Intuitives Day is because we actually do need to raise awareness. We're a little bit behind the times, I think, for that. And so it's time to really start making, like, hey, this is what it's like to be intuitive world. And
Mm.
also, we need to understand ourselves better as well. So it's a twofold thing. So that's the whole point of like bringing us all together to strengthen numbers, right? And yeah, increase the understanding and awareness inside and around. Thank you so much for your time, Art. I wish I could stay,
Well, it was
but I
an honor.
can't.
Yep.
And thank you, everyone, for watching live and on the replay. Just put hashtag replay. Art is, I'm not sure if this went live in my group. I don't think it did, but I think if you just put at Art Geyser on my Facebook page, it should actually notify Art, and you're quite good, I think, Art, at going through comments afterwards from what I've seen on your
Yeah.
amazing page. Art goes live a lot on his page with his soul spas. Do check them out, they're really popular. All right, my lovelies, and I will see you very soon. I can't
Thank
think
you so
when, but
much.
soon. Cheers, Art. Bye bye.
Cheers. Bye.